Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing a Z series, so late 2006 to 2007, Rolex Oyster Perpetual Yacht-Master 16628 in yellow gold. The most traditional of golds in a most traditional Rolex. Handsome, sporting, versatile, and rich. It's a highly refined and highly wearable classical sporting timepiece, all of yellow gold. It has immense heft on the wrist and a handsome but subtle contrast between the metallic blue of its dial and the yellow gold of its case, bezel, and bracelet. On my 16cm circumference wrist, this is a standout piece, but easy to wear. Nice and slim, the watch only measures 11.5mm thick. Remember, even a Daytona is about 12.2, 12.3, so this one sits flat and sits easily underneath a dress cuff, including exotic shirt cuffs. The timepiece, with a relatively constrained lug-to-lug dimension, you're going to find that it's 47.3mm, but if you include the solid end links, this is one of the largest disparities between lug-to-lug and link-to-link in the Rolex catalog. The watch is 54.7mm end link to end link, but fear not, it wears like it's 47.5mm lug-to-lug or 47.3mm lug-to-lug dimension. So I can recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14cm circumference. The spacing between the lugs is 20mm, but trust me, you're going to want to keep it on the factory bracelet. It's incredibly rich and substantial. It's also a bit of a transition piece. We're going to get close one more time and talk a little bit about this bracelet because it's an unusual combination of solid end links, you can see, present and correct, solid center links, and a stamped old school oyster style clasp, which as you can see is minimally, if ever, refinished and in outstanding condition with beautiful definition as well as a sharp break between the satin and the polish. It features multiple anchoring points internally, so you can restation the root of the bracelet to change the size. You don't necessarily need to avail yourself of the removable links. And then there is a folding element with a clamshell lock for security, and therein lies the Rolex crown. There's a little bit of a curve to dig your nail in. It's a secure and slightly anachronistic setup that harks back to the glory days of mid-century Rolex. This was one of the last stamped clasp Rolex watches. You can see, though, this is a 100-meter timepiece. Nevertheless, it features the triplock crown with its signature large center dot denoting this is a gold triplock, and the triplock is usually present on 300-meter Rolex watches or beyond, and thus this watch probably more water resistant than Rolex lets on. I imagine it's probably just as water resistant as a sub, but Rolex wants to protect the dignity of its signature dive watch. The case band is anything but a sub, as you can see, and I apologize for my finger oils mussing the finish. It's a beautiful and fluid compound curved form, anything but the sheer side with the squared off end of a supercase Sea Dweller or Submariner. It's graceful, it's lithe, it's lush, it's almost like a Daytona or a Datejust, and it's very handsome. The dial itself featuring a sunburst blue metallic with gilt or golden style print, with the exception of the Yacht-Master script down at 6 o'clock. Yellow gold indices, yellow gold hands to match the case and bezel, as well as to avoid tarnish and oxidation over time. The bezel is full gold, not just an insert. You can see it's yellow gold bidirectional. It's a timing instrument, the better to be used on your yacht, because it is a Yacht-Master after all, and you're the master of your yacht. You have the ability to time from 0 to 60, the better to gauge the beginning of a match within a regatta, but you can use it for anything, from cooking to billing hours at the office. Your imagination is the only limit. Now, of course, the timepiece featuring the Cyclops Eye magnifier, but note that it features a handsome metallic yellow-style date disc that matches the tones of the dial as well as the case. Underneath the case back, Rolex manufacturer caliber 3135, 31 jewels, bidirectional automatic winding, and very smooth. You can barely feel or hear it winding. 48-hour power reserve, a 28.8 beat rate, 31 jewels, all of it Rolex, right down to the wheels, the bridges, the plates, and of course the overcoil hairspring, which is made by hand at Rolex and helps this watch to ace its 5-position timing in the COSC chronometer test. It's also a chronometer. Quick set date and stop seconds. This watch is the works with a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for shock resistance. The timepiece is also tank tough. Remember, mechanically it is identical to a Submariner. And you can see that unlike many Submariners, including those that were contemporaries of this watch back in 2007, it features the maxi style dial that would later be introduced on the 6-digit Submariners, so larger individual indices with more superluminova. You can see this one and make it yours on the Watchbox. Rolex Yacht-Master, the ultimate in grace and easy to read at night. Yellow by day, green by night.